Well, it's absolutely majestic.
Marblehead, Massachusetts is a boater's paradise.
Essentially, it's about 14 miles of usable harbor, coastline-wise, that you can access all the way from Salem to Swampscott. The shoreline is accessible from almost any point in town, which is amazing. I'm gonna go check a few boats, make sure that they're okay with this weather coming in.
It's smooth sailing at this busy harbor, partly because of people like Mark Souza.
All stations, this is Coast Guard Sector Boston.
Souza is Marblehead's harbor master. Year-round, Souza and his team are the gatekeepers of these waterways. They issue permits, manage facilities, and, most important, help maintain public safety.
And then we fall into research and rescue.
In emergency situations, they work with the Coast Guard, other harbor masters, and law enforcement. This past July 4th, they did just that.
We recently had the Marblehead fireworks, which made the news that the barge caught on fire.
It was not the show Marblehead residents had hoped for this 4th of July. Fire broke out on the barge where the rockets take off around 1 this morning.
I responded with fire, along with my deputy, trying to put the fire out. We just monitored it to make sure the lines didn't catch on fire, the mooring lines.
Checking the weather is no small task either.
Today we're dealing with a little northeast blow. There's a few systems rolling through. We don't have marinas in our harbor because we're a northeast facing harbor, and the smallest storm affects us greatly. We have a lot of floating docks. Everything is held by a mooring in this harbor.
More than 3,000 moorings, in fact, in Marblehead's 3 harbors.
This kind of gives you an idea, you kind of see it, how many boats are in the main harbor. We have a 20-plus year wait to get a mooring in our main harbor. It's about 2 to 3 year wait on our other shore that abuts Salem, Mass. It's very common for someone who just had a child to come in and put that child on the wait list starting right then.
That wait list is open to anyone, not just locals. Juggling demand means Souza and his crew have to remind people not to make any waves.
Speeding is a tough one. Wake, so every boat creates a wave when it goes behind them, especially in a harbor that's very, very concentrated. A small slip someone can get hurt very easily. Things happen quickly on the water. Judgment can be changed quickly on the water due to the heat, sun. If you're not sure, don't do it. The other thing is trash. Seeing a plastic bag in the water, pick it up.
In any season, a harbor master's work is never done, and Souza likes it that way.
There's always something different and new going on in the water. I feel like I'm one of the luckiest people in the world to have a job like this.
From harbor master to top dog.
That's a good boy. That's a good dog.
Meet Thar. Thar's everyday, elegant appearance belies his identity as perhaps the world's most expensive guard dog.
He's having to figure out how to balance himself there.
And that's part of the training.
That's good. To me, close.
New Hampshire native Kim Green is founder and CEO of Svalin. Based in Livingston, Montana, we met in Brookline, a lot closer, when Green was in town for a MSPCA fundraiser.
Svalin is effectively world-class family protection dogs. We're crossing lines of German Shepherd, Dutch Shepherd, and Belgian Shepherd, looking for that perfect protector.
Svalin is an Old Norse term meaning shield. Green's company breeds and trains these dogs to be the most elite security dogs around, she says.
And so the beauty of having an animal that can go with you anywhere is that you take that investment in security and your peace of mind with you everywhere you go.
That investment is truly formidable, if you will, $150,000 to $175,000 for one dog. Turns out, after a client buys a puppy, a team in Montana trains that puppy for a couple of years to suit the client's specific needs. Green launched Svalin in 2005, inspired by her past work in Afghanistan.
There were bomb protection dogs assigned in the Karzai protective detail, and those dogs were incredibly grounding for all of us who are overseas and in non-permissive environments. They're obedient, they're by your side, they have eyes on things around you.
Green assures people that her dogs are not aggressive by nature.
This is a highly trained precision tool that is lovable and pettable. They're family member first, guardian protector second, but the dog has to remember its role, its purpose.
What can you tell the average dog owner? Some ideas for helping to create a dog that's a little more protective, without spending that kind of money.
All dogs are naturally protective. Training them in foundational obedience gives them a level of confidence to be that companion or that guardian. You a good boy? Good dog.
Amazing. You heard Kim mention her time in Afghanistan. She worked as a policy advisor, helping to support Hamid Karzai before his election as president in the early 2000s.
Yeah, and Kim Green does have some clients in the Boston area, but keeps their names private. And due to labor and costs, Savlin only trains about 20 dogs a year, and many of those dogs end up at homes with other pets.
Up next, a painstaking renovation.